Bournemouth versus Tottenham. Now this is Bournemouth's worst form in years. They have not won a game in 11 matches. And Spurs, it's been a while since they have actually lost. Their last loss was to Liverpool 4 games ago. Now, Dr. Spurs are in the house for a reason. Whenever a team is having a bad form, Spurs comes along and fix their form for them. And it's going to be tough for Bournemouth because they are without Antonio Semenyo that is on his way to City. And last season they sold 4 players out of their back 4. And they started decently this season, but it's turning on them right now as they are really chipping in plenty goals. I don't know if Dr. Spurs can fix this one, because you need firepower to actually score and you need good defending to keep a clean sheet. And if you know me, I always back it Tottenham loss because that's what Tottenham do. It's the history of Tottenham. And I think the doctor is in the house for this one, and Bournemouth sneaks a 2-1 win. I think Tottenham takes the lead and then they collapse and Bournemouth are able to come back to win the game 2-1. Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa. Now, Selhurst Park is a very tough place to go to, but then Aston Villa has been on terrific form. Their only loss in a long time against Arsenal, where they got beaten 4-1. That being said, I think it's going to be very tough for Villa. Villa always tend to start slow and work their way into the game. Crystal Palace of recent has not been impressive. They have struggled coping with Europe football. Aston Villa can nick this one and think 2-1. The 2-1 Aston Villa way. Now we have a London derby, Fulham versus Chelsea. Fulham's last game against Liverpool, they were able to score a 90+7 minutes equalizer, and Chelsea also had an impressive draw in the last match against Manchester City. In the game, they didn't play anything very spectacular to me, but they were also able to get a late equalizer against Manchester City. Chelsea retained their normal pattern in the last game of being impressive in one half and collapsing in the next half. In the Man City game, first half they were absolutely dominated and outplayed. Second half they came out much better. Against Fulham, I don't really know what to expect with Chelsea's new coach, but I'm going to stick back to the normal pattern of one half good, one half bad, and I'm going to say Chelsea wins this 2-1. Manchester City versus Brighton. Now Manchester City seems to have already bottled the league as soon as a 6-point advantage over them. But it's Brighton at home. I think I will predict a Manchester City win. It was unfortunate that they drew against Chelsea. I think Pep Guardiola actually made a mistake in that one, and I'm in no place to tell Pep Guardiola what to do. But when you are leading Chelsea in 1-0 and second half, your team did not really create any chances to double your advantage, and it's entering into the 90th minute. I think you should go all out defensive, but he did not. His team still retained their normal attacking shape, and Chelsea were able to capitalize after some obvious and annoying defensive mistakes. Brighton have been impressive this week. They know how to find the back of the net, but Man City ultimately wins this match 3-1. I think Brighton do find the back of the net here. I think they score. No clean sheets for City, but City wins this 3-1 to me. Burnley versus Manchester United. I don't really know what's going to happen in Manchester United right now. Amorim out, which is a good development for Manchester United. Against Burnley, this is a must-win match. Usually when Manchester United sack a coach and they're playing a relegation team, next they usually win. The interim coach usually wins the match, and Manchester United wins this match. They are still without a couple of players and it's not going to be easy. Ultimately, I think Manchester United needs to prove themselves and they come out with a win over Burnley. Everybody's beating Burnley at the moment, and Manchester United has no excuses whatsoever not to beat this Burnley side. And I think they beat this Burnley side 2-1. Then the big one, we have Arsenal versus Liverpool. If you ask a lot of people, this is a very one-sided match with Arsenal winning 4-5-0. I'm a Liverpool fan. It is very difficult predicting a Liverpool loss, even if it's to Arsenal. But we are at Emirates, and I don't think we have the firepower. We have not been impressed about our last few games. We have had 2 draws. We draw against Leeds, we are not able to create anything special. Then we draw against Fulham after conceding. We scored 90+4 and could even defend. Arsenal are a very solid team. They're a very trained team. They can hold out the 0-0 for 60-70 minutes and still come and pump you with goals. So I think Arsenal is going to be very interesting. But whenever these two meet, it's always very competitive. So it's going to be competitive as usual. It's going to be a must watch. You should not be missing that match. But I think Arsenal comes out with a well needed win. They're going to win the match 2-1. But I'll still pray for a shock Liverpool win. It's possible. It's on the cards. It's Liverpool. I don't just see that happening though, unfortunately. We have not been that team. throughout the season. Arsenal always find ways to win their games, even if it's close. The last game was a 3-2 win against Brighton. So even if it's so close, we find ways to get the 3 points that they very much need, and that's what champions do. They win no matter the circumstances. And I think that Arsenal is going to do. I think Arsenal is going to win this game.